Hi, welcome to another orienteering video. This is the first meet of Georgia Orienteering Club's 2022 fall season. I wasn't ready. I made some big mistakes. So you get to laugh at what I did wrong and say that you could have done better. Here's your number one. Take a good look. As soon as I saw the map and 1 and 2 were over on the other side of the road, I was dreading going over there. It is so thick on that side, and the map doesn't really show how thick it is. Anyway, I run up through the parking lot. That's the station where they collect the parking fees. Cross the road. Try not to get run over. Immediately into the woods, and boy, yeah, it's pretty thick over here. We've had a very wet summer. So I'm thinking I'm going to pop out on the top of this hill, and I'm not going to know where I am or be able to see anything. I won't even be able to see if there's a reentrant. And that was pretty much the case. Got up there. Where the heck am I now? I figured I was, too far to the north, so I swung over. And this one I found okay. All right, here's your number two. And I made a big mistake on this one. I took a photo of the map with the iPad, so that's why it doesn't look quite as good as a PDF. I start out okay. Down this side, and I'm looking. Of course, you can't see very much with all this green. And I see, the big reentrant and a spur, and I'm going to go up the spur between the reentrants. And yeah, I'm going up the wrong one. I should have gone up the one further to the east. And I get up here and I make another mistake. I hear the cars. I see the road. And I don't actually go to the road. The track on the GPS track shows me going to the road, but no, I didn't go all the way. Now I've gone too far, so I turn around and go back. Still in the wrong reentrant. What I should have done, of course, is once I got up there and saw the road, I should have gone ahead and to the road and relocated using the power poles. There's two very nice ones there that I could have used. I would have seen immediately that the power pole at the head of that reentrant, the power line was crossing back over the road, and known I was at the wrong one. But no. So I went all the way back down that reentrant until I decided, well, I'm just in the wrong reentrant. Turning went up the correct spur this time. Yeah. Now, the control app has a way that you can use a what if function. You could suggest a different route that you could have taken. And on this leg, if I had gone the way I intended, I would have saved 5 minutes and 15 seconds. Yeah, that was a big mistake. Here's your number three. I made a big mistake on this one too, so you get to laugh again. I mean, it looks straightforward enough. If we can get through all the green, climbing over the fallen trees, yada, yada, yada. Unfortunately, this green stuff extends on the other side of the road as far as the new trail. So, yeah, you don't get much relief when you cross the road down here. But I had to get run over, cross the road, down, and I'm, very sure that I'm in the correct reentrant and that I need to go up over this spur and drop down, and there will be my gully, and everything's good. And it looks like I'm right on track. In fact, I was right on track. I went over the top, I went down the other side, I found the gully, started down the gully, went right past the control, didn't see it. Yeah. What could I have done to fix this? Well, I needed to be more aware. Because it was so green, I was just didn't see it over there. And there are lots of other gullies around that it could have been in. So yeah, I'm bashing around. At some point I run into Les, who's over here, also bashing around looking for it. Finally I decide, well, I'm in all these other ditches, I'm going back. There's Les. Didn't give him confidence to see me wandering around. So I head back. Let's try this again. Top of the reentrant to go down. Up. There it is, right there. Crap. Yeah, and according to the what if function in the control app, I wasted 5 minutes and 24 seconds. Yep. So number 4, I'm trying to get back on track. That's 2 bad controls in a row. And that does mess with your mind and wear you out. That's what, 11 extra minutes that I spent wandering around, which does take its toll. But you just gotta forget about all that and just go on and do the best you can. I mean, your opponent may have done worse than you. Who knows? So you have to keep plugging away at it. So yeah, up to the trail junction, right into the woods again. It's still green down in here. It's not going to improve until we get over by the campground. Down this reentrant. A little better moving down in here. And one thing I should have done is go ahead and cross, but the thing was so deep. When I finally got down in the bottom, I could see the bridge. So I went on down to the bridge and crossed there. Yeah, I should have crossed the gully much sooner, but it was just too deep. GPS is having a hard time keeping up with me. I'm going up and over the hill. Oh, God. I'm tired now already. And the lake was a lot higher than with all the rain we've been having. The lake is a lot higher than usual. So I had to keep going further up in order to get past the water, the mud. And here I am just contouring up and around, trying not to get too high too soon. A lot of boulders out here, and some of them are pretty big. The descriptions could have been a little better. Yeah, I mean, this just said boulder cluster or something, which wasn't helping. Which boulder cluster? All right, here's your number 5. This cuts through the campground. I have gotten confused before in this campground, especially with all these new campsites that they've put in. Five-meter contours on this map too. All right, finally up to a paved road, but this is not the paved road we want. Cross over, go up the next reentrant. And here I get sucked over to the left. I see, what's that road over there? Is that the road I want? No, it's not the road I want. And I actually consider going down this one until I decide, nope, turn around and go back. The GPS got really confused when I did that. This lady up here, she's walking to the restroom and she's walking faster than I'm running. Yeah. I am running on the road even though the GPS says I'm not. Down to this little circle at the end. Dive into the woods. Yeah, it can be a challenge sometimes navigating through a campground. Any area with a lot of little roads going off in all different directions. And into the control. All right. This is number 6. I made another big error. It does look a little complicated, but it shouldn't have been. My only defense here is that I was just tired. I've been trying to train as hard as I can. It was hot. Let's see how many excuses I can come up with. Yeah, going up through these boulders. The idea is to go through this saddle, cross that next big reentrant, and somehow I lose track. Yeah, crossing this one. I think I'm crossing the next one. I go up to the top, think, oh, the control should be right about in here somewhere. And of course it's not, but it looks very similar. It's a sort of a reentrant, and there's some boulders and things, but there's no rootstock. So I go over to the east and I look in that one, and no, this is not right. What the heck? So I go back. Maybe I was too far to the east. Retracing my steps. I look in the next reentrant. This one's too big. There's huge boulders and there's no rootstock. And you know what? I think I'm just on the wrong spur. Okay. Cut our losses and let's go for it. It's hard not to get discouraged when this happens. You just got to shrug it off and keep going. Wiping the sweat off again. Boy, it was hot and wet. And now things really take a turn for the worse because there's Andy. She's walking and she's going faster than I am. She caught me. All right, according to the what if and control, I lost 3 minutes and 27 seconds on that leg. Here's your number 7. And that lake is way up in there. There's Andy just walking along. and she's out ahead of me. That's very discouraging. I go down and try to find some place to cross. Oh, without getting in too much mud. Go up the other side. Yeah. So if you notice, there's two big re-entrants to cross, and the ditch is on the other side of the second one. If you can just get up this hill with the 5-meter contours. And I'm trying not to let Andy psych me out. You know, she's over there to my right. I think she's on the right. Yeah. And she's, you know, moving as fast or faster than I am. Cross this big one, go over the next one. This should not be a big hill here. If you can just manage to climb up and over it. And then over, and you know, the ditches are obvious, and I believe that, yeah, something's very wrong here. Andy was here too, looking in that same ditch, and it wasn't there. So I believe it was actually in a ditch much farther to the east. And that's what the GPS shows anyway. So the circle should have been over here. There we go. She beat me to it. Here's your number 8. And this one, you know, there's always the option of going up to the road. But I was just too tired to climb up there. And I'm drifting too far to the south. But there's a, it's not a saddle, although it seems like it's a saddle. That long, curving spur. So I go across that and down and into the bottom. And I'm going to follow that, the bottom of that intermittent stream with all the boulders in it. I'm going to follow that up. And you can pretty much count these boulders off. Some of them are pretty big. There's a few right there. Go past those. There's another big one here on the right. It's just sort of flattened out. Just a very tiny spur with ditches, and I think that's the first one, and the second one, of course, Andy beats me right to it. Thanks, Andy. Here's your number 9. It's a very nice area out here, really. Much more open on this side of the campground. A lot of boulders sprinkled through. So the plan here is to go up and cross the spur right there at that trail junction. There goes Andy, out ahead of me. He can get up the hill faster than I can. She's probably got the same plan. Yep, here's the trail. Here's the trail junction. My glasses were fogging up so bad I couldn't see. Lost track of Andy there for a minute. I don't know where she went. But I'm going down this re-entrant. We're going to cross that big flat thing. And it should be, there she is. There should be a whole bunch of rootstocks. And the dot knoll is on the other side of them. At this point, I'm just going to let Andy lead me right in there. There's the control. All right, number 11. Headed for the finish, finally. No, I'm sorry, this is number 10. Yeah, this is 10 we're going to. My idea is to contour around the edge of this hill and then down past that huge brancher down on the other side there with the trail in it. Lost track of Andy. I think she may have gone on the other side of the hilltop. Yeah, across the paved road, campground road, then down the big reentrant, across the trail, and I'm too low, and Andy was too low too. I see she's crossing right in front of me. All right, here's your number 11. Yeah, so my idea is to go and cross the spur with the long trail on it, right about where those boulders are. I was having a brain fade going up here. No wonder. I'm thinking, where are the campers? Where are the campers? No, the campers are further west or north. Aren't any campers down here. Yeah. Cross the trail again. Down and across the stream. Try to climb up the other side. Yeah, and I'm off too far to the north. Oh well. Contour along the hill. Above the entrant. The rootstock here, but nah, that's not it. That one's not even on the map. Here's the one we want. As soon as I punch, I fall down, of course. All right, here's your finish. Oh, that should be easy. Yeah, I generally finish like this. I'm just, turn the map and go, and I come out at that trail junction, then go up. I should have stayed on the little trail and gone up a little further because, yeah, it's green again. Up out into the clearing, get those people out of my way, and of course, Andy runs in right ahead of me and finishes. All right, so according to the what if on the control app, with all those errors, I lost 14 minutes and 6 seconds. That's if I had maintained the steady pace that I was on for those sections instead of what I did. So, yeah, it's a very handy feature of the app. Made a bunch of mistakes on this one. Hope you had a good laugh. Thanks for watching.